Formula One philosophy is back for an expletive-laden episode. Or, banter about F1. One of the two. First off, I'd like to announce the birth of my baby daughter, Aurora, on Thursday, October 2nd. That little bundle of joy was welcome into my life. I didn't want to announce it, but you know what? She's probably going to listen to all my episodes after my trial in the future for craziness. I imagine it's going to be like a Salem witch trial where I'm thrown off a cliff or something based on all the shit I've said over the years. So when you listen back to all the episodes, just know that I did care about you, baby. If you're ever listening, I cared about you a lot. And welcome to the world. Sean,
I was going to say, you need to be careful what you say, or this might get used as evidence in a custody trial, but you beat me to that one.
I didn't even think about that one. Yeah, thank you, Sean. Thank you for having my back there.
Yeah, no problem.
Such is the world we live in. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Nothing really to complain about this week, so.
And who would want to listen to you fucking complain?
Everybody, Nick. Because as the YouTube community has emphasized, there's nothing more riveting than listening to AI talk to itself.
Yeah, who is that? The commenter. I'm trying to find his name now. Here, hold on a sec.
I don't know. He's probably a fucking bot anyway.
He's probably the bot. Exactly what I was thinking. But yeah. Whatever. But to our loyal listener, Joseph Nidran, or I'm not exactly sure how you say that. We will have an episode coming up soon of Sean and I talking about what we think of each driver on the grid. That's a good idea. I think we'll do that for the end of the season. We're both a little bit busy right now, Joseph, but thank you for your curiosity and your comment. We really appreciate that.
Glad to know somebody's listening other than Nick's parents.
No, they're not listening. They got more important things to do. All right.
All right, we got one then.
You had a really good idea this week, for once.
Yeah, which one?
You said we should go over our tracks. Like we should give a list of our tracks of how we would do the F1 calendar every year.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me thinking. And it's a good one. So I think we should do it quickly here. We got some time before we get into the good parts of the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's go over, because you talked about logistics, travel, right? So list them off. Tell us why. Try and do it quickly. But yeah, I like it, Sean. It's a good idea.
Yeah, so this came, I don't know. I was pissed off at the FIA and F1 in general one day this week. I can't remember why. So I figured I'd put together my calendar, and I wasn't able to put it together in a way that made logistic sense. So take that out of the equation. And I'll give you a couple of stipulations for my list. They have to be current FIA Grade 1 certified. So they have to be current, up-to-date F1 tracks.
Mm.
That's for my list, at least. Right? And that has limited kind of what was available. There are some tracks that didn't make my list simply because it would take too much to bring them back. And I don't think F1 or those locales have the stomach for it. So mine starts off pretty standard. Bahrain, Australia. I do like the Bahrain circuit. It's not terrible. I think it's a worthwhile track to go to. Good way to ease back into the season after a long winter. Australia, I think we both like Melbourne.
Hear, hear.
China, I've had some not so nice things to say about China, but this year's race and last year's race kind of proved me wrong. I'm okay with it. I would put Baku back in the summer, or kind of back in the hot season for them. So Baku would be there kind of at the beginning of the season. Then we go to the European continent proper, Imola, Turkey, Spain, Canada, Austria, UK. All those to me are staples. Obviously, I've included Turkey there, which is not on the current calendar, but it is a great track. We saw that in 2020 and maybe 21. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick.
Yeah, both years. I think 21 was the last year. 2020 had Lance Stroll on the pole.
Yeah. And that giant clusterfuck of a restart.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You'll notice that in that grouping of Imola, Turkey, Spain, Canada, Austria, UK, there's a notable absence, which I don't think we even need to mention it. It doesn't belong on the calendar. We've talked about that many times. So,
Belgium. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So, the tiny nation there in the south of France can come at me all they want, but they don't deserve an F1 race.
It wishes it was a nation, a principality. Let's
Principality,
not,
yes.
Let's not even give it nation status.
Anyway, enough about that clusterfuck. Then we go to Hungary, Belgium, which should be a staple. It should be pinned to the calendar and never removed.
Preach.
Monza, Singapore. Malaysia needs to make a comeback.
Oh, yes.
Ideally at a part in a range of the season where it's not going to be monsoon season. Right. That's, I think, part of the reason it was becoming difficult to justify is that when the weather changed, it changed rather quickly and unpredictably. From Malaysia, I would go Japan and Qatar. Obviously, logistically, that's a nightmare. It doesn't have to be in that order. Then we have Texas, Mexico, Brazil, Portugal. Portugal needs to come back.
It's a
fantastic. That track is, it's amazing. I was racing that on the F1 game a couple days ago. There is one downhill braking zone. Every other braking zone is uphill.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Which you might think, so what? A uphill braking zone. Well, the beautiful part of that is you don't need to brake as much, right? It gives you the opportunity to be at high speeds longer and to have more open flowing corners. The one challenging part of that course, which I think makes it better, is that you have basically a blind uphill crest into a flat braking zone that immediately turns downhill after the braking zone. It's a roller coaster of a track, and it's phenomenal. We need to go back there more often.
Yeah. Senna's first win, right? If that needs to be like deedified in F1. You're absolutely right. That course.
And then we end it kind of, in my opinion, a bit of a lackluster final two races, simply because I don't really have anything better to put here with Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi.
I think it's good.
So it's not terrible. I think Las Vegas needs to change. There's no reason to have two extremely long straights where you're on the rev limiter in eighth gear for, I didn't time it, but it's a good few seconds of you just being pinned at the rev limiter in eighth gear. What's the point? You're not going to be going any faster. There's no benefit to it. And especially with the 2026 regulations that are coming up, you're going to be losing speed by the time you get to the breaking point.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, that track needs to change a bit, but other than that, I think it flows reasonably.
I like it.
It's not as clunky as some of the other courses that are out there.
I have a soft spot for old Hockenheim. I've said it before. It kind of reminds me of that. But you're right. With like technical regulations coming up, it's not making much sense. It would make sense as a rotating race, because with the timing, like November, where it could potentially be cold or even snow. It throws a loop in the season. It could be like something that throws a wrench in a free-flowing season every now and then. Like if you put it every other year, I think it would be really cool. Or like you said, at least change it a little bit.
So I've got 23 races here, right?
Yeah.
So you could make a standard 22 race calendar and have Las Vegas in between Abu Dhabi and Qatar, or kind of either side of one of those, to spread it out for Ramadan, depending on where it falls in the calendar. That might be the usefulness of Las Vegas.
Okay. Yeah. Not too worried about that, but want to get into my list?
Well, that's you. Yes. Let's skip over that and go into your list.
I made a statement to you. I said 22 Grand Prix is fine. I think we need to cut it. We need to cut the amount of Grand Prix we have. It's too long of a season. 22 was good. It made for one of the best seasons of all time in 2021. I think it's just a good number. You want every race to be very important. You don't want throwaway races. Like you're seeing this year, there's a lot of races that were just kind of thrown away in terms of the title fight. They may end up being important towards the end, maybe. So I think when you make every race, like every season, a championship, every race, it's exciting. I'll just list mine off quickly, and then we'll get into Singapore. But yeah, I think you obviously start in Australia. I think Australia should start if it's in Melbourne or end if it's in Adelaide, if they ever go back to Adelaide. I doubt that because, like you said, it's not FIA compatible. Probably not anymore. Then to me, I think I like the way things were going this year. Like China should be second. Like you said, it's kind of grown on us. Malaysia absolutely should make a comeback. I like it early on. I like the idea of a monsoon. And then maybe we can finally get a wet tire race for once, where the wet tire is kind of useful.
No, we'll just get 6 hours of red flags.
Maybe yes, maybe no. But I like the idea of the threat in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Japan, obviously, if we lose Suzuka, that would be a disgrace. I had originally...
We can lose Suzuka, but they have to bring back Fuji.
Yeah, you watched the WEC race, right? Recently? What a course.
No, I didn't get a chance.
Oh.
But Fuji is phenomenal.
I just watched the highlights. I'm not a huge WEC fan.
Yeah.
When I texted you, I said Bahrain second, but that makes no sense logistically. So then after Japan, you do Bahrain, race 5. Then I think you do something we haven't done in a long time, which is the European Grand Prix. We need to bring that back. And I think there's 2 courses that are perfect for it. You could even do Valencia, but I think Jerez or Nürburgring. Jerez, sorry. Or the Nürburgring, what used to be called the Luxembourg Grand Prix, used to bring out chaos all the time. That's where you saw Stewart 1-3 in 99. That's where I think you saw Ralf Schumacher's first win at Williams or something like that. The
Nürburgring, that's where we had the last German Grand Prix. Right, it's on the GP circuit. It's okay.
Then we'll stick with the Jerez, which dry, very fast, slow corners, very, very challenging. Imola obviously should be there. Canada, let's never lose that. Austria, Spain, UK. Then I said the German Grand Prix should make a comeback, either at Hockenheim.
I'm assuming you mean Hockenheim.
Hockenheim, 100%. I'll even take the new Hockenheim. But I think it's just a race that the Germans really let get away from them. And then I said France. No one talks about the French Grand Prix anymore. It's because Paul Ricard is just too many iterations of it. It's just too weird. You can never really figure out where it's going. It's a sloppy course.
It almost feels like an autocross course.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a parking lot.
Yes. Or like the Top Gear track, which is cool, but it's not. It's like an airfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so is Silverstone.
Yeah, but they've perfected Silverstone, right? Yeah. Like you know where the track is.
Yeah, they've dedicated themselves to it.
Yes. So I think if they do the French Grand Prix again, it should be a Manicourt, and that was to me one of the greatest tracks in a long time. It's fun. it rewards fun or like risky strategy. You have like, that was where Michael Schumacher won on a 4-stop strategy one time. It's just, if you have the right car and you're willing to go for it, you'll get an upset. There was a lot of upsets at that course. Hungary, obviously, like you said, Portugal, you wax poetic excellently. Monza. I let Singapore stay, even though I've never been the biggest fan of it. It's pretty good. We'll talk more about that in a bit, I guess. Coda, Mexico can stay. We should bring back Argentina, or at least have it on rotation. I really liked Argentina. It was kind of like, I don't want to say like, it's like a iteration of Portimao and the Spanish Grand Prix. It's closer to the Spanish Grand Prix, but it's a cool spot. Underrated. Sao Paulo, I hope we never lose, and then we can end the season at Las Vegas. Right? That's a party. I don't even want Abu Dhabi. But you all saw my biases in this. Anyways.
Yes. So the Las Vegas as a season ender is interesting because F1 paid a shit ton of money to set up that track. Right? Usually these tracks are put on by let's say local promoters, and usually there's funding from the local government in some way or some shape or form, but it's usually a promoter that sets up the race and pays to have F1 come there effectively. But in this case, F1 built a building there, right? The pits, the hospitality, the paddock club, all that is in a dedicated F1 owned building. It's basically a second F1 headquarters, if you will, in Las Vegas. So from a pure ego stroking self-promotion standpoint, it would almost make sense to have the season end there.
Yeah.
But that's also what makes me hate it as a final race. It's so painfully American to do that I cannot get behind it.
But that's what they want. That's the market they want, right? Like Abu Dhabi's the same thing. Jordan and Coulthard were talking about it in one of their last podcasts.
Absolutely.
They were talking about it in one of their last podcasts. It's just a show of bravado. There's like the cool fireworks, there's the marina, right? But overall, nobody's ever really liked the race. Like it's like what Raikkonen said. The first couple corners are really good, and then the track's quite shit. Like it's
yeah. Although it did get a lot better when they took that chicane out.
Which one?
I think it's turn 5 or 6, right before the main straight.
Huh.
Yeah, you go through the windy bit at the front, and then you hit that fiddly back section, and then you go into the straight. They took that chicane at the back out.
Is that where Vettel?
This would have been. Go ahead.
That's where Vettel hit Ricardo, or almost hit Ricardo that one time. Is that where we're both thinking of that? In like 2012?
I can't fucking think that far back.
Oh, sorry. Sorry I tested your memory.
I mean, probably. If you think it happened with your memory, it probably was. So,
tell us what you think, everybody. Am I wrong? Am I right? Did I just make something up out of thin air? All three are possible.
Yes. Especially because AI has been known to hallucinate.
You're not going to let that one go. To be honest, I'm a little unsure if I'm a human being right now. But yeah.
I mean, what does it even mean to be a human being, Nick? Maybe we are AI.
Oh fuck. He did his job. He did exactly what he wanted. He wanted us to doubt our existence. And for a philosophy podcast, well done.
That may have been the most impactful comment we've ever received.
Thank you, whoever you are. I forget his name off by heart. Not.
That's okay.
Yeah, who cares?
Maybe that in itself proves that we're not AI.
Or that AI's gotten so good that it can now think this way.
And can forget things at will, basically.
Forget things at will. We should sell that to ChatGPT, Grok. That should be our software. Here's how AI can forget from time to time.
Yeah, because think about how painful it must be to have all this information and not be able to forget any of it.
Shit. Oh my God. Yeah, it's the burden of intelligence, right? Like the most miserable people are the most intelligent ones because they know everything. They remember everything.
Explains a lot about me.
Yeah, just pat yourself on the back a little bit more. It's like that episode of House, the girl who had that photographic memory. And they were like, oh, this is amazing. We got to study it. And she says, think about it. I remember everything mean that my friend said to me 20, 30 years ago. And how, like, emotionally painful that was.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, that's why I drink myself stupid.
That's why. Okay.
All right.
We'll let you think that, Nick.
Thanks, Sean.